up, we'll just bring them on over. Okay, the broadcast is running. Good afternoon, everybody. This is the Motivation, wow, easy for me to say, Motivation Manifesto Mastermind discussion, Thursday, March 12th, 2015, and welcome, everyone. And I just got a message from Bob, and Bob sent me I'm sorry I can't be here today. There's Larry. Because his grandkids, as you know, Chris, we were on the call a few minutes ago, and his grandkids came running in the middle of it. He wasn't expecting that. So I'm trying to click Larry over. So here we are, chapter 4. We shall advance with abandon. And I don't know, like you said, David, this is really an exciting chapter. I think it really is. I have long in my personal life gone with the idea that action is better than anything else. And I remember, I was going to tell you a short little story and then I'm going to shut up, but I remember there was a number of, I'm a pilot, by the way, as you may know. I'm trying to click Larry over. I remember a number of years ago there was an airplane situation where the pilot accidentally shut down an engine in flight, reached over and turned the wrong lever, the wrong button, and he shut off the engine. And the airplane lost one of it. It only had 2 engines. They lost one, and they had a significant issue recovering. But they did get it recovered and happily landed with no further issues. And they promptly fired the pilot. And my attitude was, that's the guy I want to fly with. He's never going to make that mistake again. He's probably safer. I mean, I'm serious. You know, people make mistakes, and and this whole chapter is about that. It's about jumping into action without having all the information. Larry, I can't get you across. Larry, I don't know what's going on. Larry, if you can hear me, I'm just going to send you the direct link. Here comes the direct link in the chat, because for some reason you're not coming across. I don't know why. So there we go. All right. Anybody else want to say something?
Well, I have a summary.
So ours must become a life of courageous action and perpetual progress. And isn't that what we're all about, Chris?
Yes.
I have a cliff note.
Okay, let's hear it, David.
Okay, we shall advance with abandon. Most of us are not maturing as fast as we're able. We are on a constant path. We wait and wait.
Who is making all that racket?
It was Larry, but I muted him.
I see that.
Okay, let me start again.
Okay.
We shall advance with abandon. Most of us are not maturing as fast as we're able. We are on a constant pause. We wait and wait to find out who we are, to declare our dreams, to struggle for what we want, to open ourselves fully to love and to life. We await personal courage to arise within us, or for society to grant us some ill-defined permission to activate our potential. We have forgotten that courage is a choice, and that permission to move forward with boldness is never given by fearful masses. Most of us forgotten that seeking change always requires a touch of insanity. It takes action before the perfect condition arrives, or before we receive permission. Is unreasonable or reckless, then we must be unreasonable and reckless. We must remember we are not the sum of our intentions, but our actions. Bold and disciplined initiative is our savior, and it allows us to rise, to leap, to soar to the heights of true greatness. We must not lose the urgency of this moment, as it begs us to begin something grand and important.
Yeah.
That's it in a nutshell.
Amen.
I can relate to it because I feel like I've been in nothing but education mode for about 6 months, and I haven't been applying it, but I need to. I mean, I need to take action on the education I've learned. I know so much.
Yes, yes. One of the things, and you know, one of the things that I've really come to believe and understand fully is when, this may seem off topic, but it really isn't. When we go to events like Live the Dream, when I went to my first event 2.5, 3 years ago, I saw people, you know, running around with cell phones, making calls, you know, putting up posts and things, and I thought, well, why are they doing all that? Well, why don't you just stay at the event and gather all the information and go home? And you know, they knew something I didn't know, and that is that by the time you got home, that notebook became what Ray Higdon calls uncashed checks. It just went on. It went on the table because it was the action. It was too late. 72 hours after you got the information, if you haven't taken action, the information is basically gone. You forgot you even got it. Which is why you'll see me more and more than ever now. I go out there with my morning coffee with Len videos. I'm talking about something I just read about. You know, taking action and not waiting for anyone's permission. I have long been a proponent of the do now, ask later. And if somebody says you shouldn't have done that, you say, I'm sorry. I won't do it again.
Mm-hmm. You know, I agree with you. In fact, my videos now that I'm doing are from when I was in Vegas 2 weeks ago, from Les Brown's thing. And I did 3 right away, and I've got probably 4 or 5 more to do, but I'm going to knock those out this weekend because, like you said, these are very powerful, you know, stuff that I learned. And you can go to one of these events and maybe get probably 20 videos worth of material, but you know, if we're going to sit there and do nothing, and it was for the longest time is some of my biggest hang-ups was doing nothing.
Yeah, yeah. So I agree absolutely. You know, and putting this stuff, getting this stuff out there, and just amazing. You know, I sat down yesterday. I sat back and I just did a count yesterday. Do you know how many Coffee with Len videos I've done? Anybody want to guess?
300.
Well, no, not 300 Coffee with Len. There are well over 300. There's probably over 400 videos out there that I have done. I've done 108 Coffee with Len as of today. And that just blew my mind away when I started realizing what the numbers are. So, yep. So what I was doing there was surreptitiously, I was actually sort of encouraging you, Chris, to take more action because yes, you're right. You've got all this knowledge, and you know some of the training videos you're doing right now on Funnelizer and stuff. That's just awesome.
You see these notebooks?
Yeah. Uncashed checks, baby. Uncashed checks.
They are full of notes.
Yeah. Yeah. And the interesting thing about it is one of those notebooks is probably enough to last you for the rest of your life. I mean, in terms of content, making videos, making blog posts, etc. We'll get so much information.
David, what's your business?
Just starting out this business to be able to help people start their own business. So it's called. I've got a domain called successadvocate.net. It's not up yet, but I'm gonna stand for the charge of being successful on the internet. So,
Are you trying to go for a rank in MLSP?
not yet. I'm not part of MLSP.
Ah.
So I have a different opportunity that I'm going to be taking out as my top tier initially, and I think MLSP will be in the picture down the road, but can only focus on one thing at a time.
Do you need me to send you a link?
No, I get to send you a link.
Well, I was on an MLSP webinar yesterday, you know, which is the Facebook one, right? Part 2.
So he's cookied to whoever's link he clicked on.
I know.
Yeah, he's already cooking. Because we're all sitting here thinking the same thing. Hey, you're an MLSP, grab him.
I've looked at it.
Have you ever checked out Lunch with Lynn?
I haven't. No.
Our Tuesday group, which we meet just before this, we're all trying to help each other get to L1 before the dream.
That's our Thursday group. In case you don't know it, Chris, today's Thursday.
Oh, Thursday, sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, we do a half at 11:30 my time. We do lunch with Len on Tuesday and Thursday, and we've also been having some pretty interesting guest speakers. We had Terry Grimal last Thursday, or Tuesday rather. The week before that, we had Susan Shearer Young, the author of How to Allow, and next Tuesday we have Robert Hollis, and then on Thursday we have a lady going to talk about Google Plus, and then we have Larry and Larry's friend on ranking videos on YouTube the following Tuesday. So I mean, these are short; these are half hour. Sometimes they run a little longer.
Okay.
But it's a small, intimate working group, and we're all trying to help each other.
I'll tell you what, David, you would have really enjoyed Susan. She, what's it called, Lynn?
How to Allow.
How to Allow.
Yeah.
She was voted the best Law of Attraction book.
Okay.
In 2012. Yeah, we're going to have her back for sure.
Yeah, she was awesome.
Who did we lose?
Actually, she should have been on this show.
Yeah, maybe.
You know, I don't know because this is a competitor.
Yeah, not really. I don't think she'd see it that way.
I don't think anybody would.
Yeah.
I think we decided at the beginning we could bring in other books that
we can do anything we want.
motivate us, and
it's our show. We can do anything we want with it.
I know it's going to go longer than 12 weeks.
So
It already has.
They all come together, you know.
Remember, we did like 3 weeks last year, and then we decided to start over because we sort of lost our footing coming through the holidays, because the holidays were all on Thursdays this year. So we just decided to reset in January and start over. So I think we are past 12 weeks already.
You know what resonated with me in this chapter was taking responsibility for your own reality.
Yes.
And it's not only that, it's taking responsibility for your whole life. I mean, I remember, probably 10 years ago, I realized I had to take responsibility for actions that I had taken. And I, sad to say, you know, you say, I didn't do that.
page 139.
But I have persevered into taking responsibility for any action I take. So it really resonated with me.
Well, the thing about it is that it doesn't matter who contributed to where we are in life. I mean, I could sit here all day long and blame my mother, and and all this sort of stuff, and we all could. Or we could blame. I mean, we can all find somebody to blame. That's easy. But the reality is, unless we take our responsibility 100% complete, then we don't have any way to make a change, to make it different, to make it better for ourselves. I mean, my wife's son wrecked my jet ski a number of years ago. And when he came to me and he explained how this accident happened, he gave me this whole long explanation about how it wasn't his fault. He was just driving the ski, and then there was this happened, that happened, this happened, that happened, blah, blah, blah. And when he was done, I looked at him and I said, well, I guess I can never let you borrow my jet ski again because all these things happen to you and they're beyond your control and there's nothing you can do about it, so you're going to wreck it again, right?
We've got an echo there.
Well, that shut him up. Believe me. He suddenly started to take responsibility for the accident. He wanted to take the ski again.
Sure.
Are we getting an echo?
Yeah, we're getting an echo.
Yeah, I thought it was me, but I muted out. It wasn't me.
You might say.
So who was it? Was it Chris?
Chris.
All right. Chris, you were echoing. Anyhow.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all I have to say on the subject. Yeah, but I've really gotten to a point where, yeah, I just accept the fact that I'm sitting right where I am today because of all the things that I've done in the past that have brought me here, and I can understand that now.
I agree, me too.
Yeah, so, and
No.
that's it.
Now, you guys were all part of the challenge, right?
Yes.
And I just want to highlight the Justice's call, 9/15/14 says you don't have to be powerful audio, and that's right in alignment with this. And basically, he's talking about the concept of be, do, have, and really his main point is that the people that sit down and be that CEO, they are the ones that do the things so that they can have the $1 million company. That was a statement he brought forward, and it's really powerful because, that really had an impact on me. I really need to step in that CEO role so that I can create what I want, that $1 million company. So and I don't have to wait for the $1 million before I can be in that role, right? And it sounds so simple, and we've heard it before, but that's taking responsibility, Chris. Stepping in that role, figuring out what you want, and going after it, and then from that you have the belief systems in play so that you can do the things that you need to do to have what you want. In this case, he was presenting it as having $1 million company in the long term.
Right. Yeah. I'm trying to respond to Petro. So, Petro, yes or no? Do you want me to bring you across? I don't understand your answer. I assume you can hear me, so just type yes or no in the chat. Are you at work, or are you available to come join us? And it's okay you're behind. You're not behind. We're going one chapter at a time. And each chapter has a different topic. So yeah, David, I think that's absolutely right. And one of the classic examples of that sort of thinking is people that say, you say to them, they don't have any money, and you say, well, you have to learn to manage money, and the classic answer is, well, when I have some money, I'll manage it. Well, it doesn't work that way. If you never learn to manage money, you're never going to have any money. It doesn't matter how little you have to manage what you've got. And I'll tell you something, that's a lesson that, I can stand on the top of a mountain and preach that one all day long. I have really learned that one in spades. I've gone through periods of my life when I had a lot of money, and guess who's responsible for the fact that I don't have any right now? So, big shift in my own thinking, and learning to manage pennies so that you can get back to having money to manage again. Be, do, have.
Petra said yes.
Huh?
I guess the reason why I brought this up is because, it also aligns with what Chris was saying, is that, I've been spending some time putting together my plan, and I've got a strategy. I figured out a strategy. I figured out my content strategy. I figured out how I want to go out and build this company. and on one hand, that's all great. On the other hand, like from the challenge perspective, we're supposed to be already doing content. We're already supposed to be in action to get into that discipline. But I felt that I really need to have that. The content has to be on a strategy. So, and now I have that in place, and now I am going to be moving in that implementation mode. So, and I think that's what's important. Is that's how I felt I needed to go and create my business, not just going off and haphazardly bring something out, but bringing something out with focused intent. You know what I mean?
I do. I don't think that my business was at a place where I should have been in the challenge. Maybe the Biz Builder challenge, but not the Dream Year challenge, because I felt behind the whole time because I wasn't where everybody else was, and I didn't see where a lot of it applied to me.
Well, I have the. Go ahead.
To me, it's as long as we're taking steps and moving forward. That was the main part of the Biz Builder, the Dream Year Challenge, and so no matter where we all were, as long as we're doing more than what we were doing the day before or the week before, to me it was very important.
I agree.
Well, I was taking steps.
Go ahead, Chris.
I said I was taking steps. And don't get me wrong, the trainings were good, and I loved the mindset, especially. I just think the Biz Builder one probably would have been better for building the business. You see what I'm saying? Or not?
I can't.
Well, I can't. I've never done the Biz Builder, so I don't know if it would have been better or not. Was that one of Justice's challenges too? Justice
Yeah, that's the one that Bert won.
Oh,
that's the 100-day challenge you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know
this
what?
was just a condensed version of that.
It was exactly the same thing, Chris. Exactly the same.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And the whole drive of the challenge is just to get you into action. And remember, in the Guru Code, Larry Hoffman made this comment. Don't compare yourself. Don't think about there are people in the challenge that are ahead of me and I shouldn't be here. Because the challenge isn't about competing with other people. It's about competing with yourself on a weekly basis and growing and making content. And we've seen enormous growth in you in the last couple months, Chris. Just the fact that you're putting up these videos and doing this stuff. I mean, you rocketed it, lady.
Yeah, that's the whole point of it. Is making progress forward, and you've made, like I said, great progress. Before this started, would you have ever done a video?
No.
And you know what? Some of my videos that I started with, there's a lot of stammering and a lot of stuff. I remember my first video took me 2 days, like 11 hours to do. And now I wish I hadn't deleted all the outtakes, because you know what? I'm pretty funny when I use colorful words the right way.
I actually went back last week, or maybe the week before, and looked at the very first video I ever made, just for giggles. And that's all I have to say.
I actually bought Camtasia yesterday. Can you believe that?
Oh, did you? Cool.
Because it was half price.
All right. All righty. And Petra did her first video today. She did her fit video today, but I assume that means first. You're muted right now, Petra. We can't hear you if you know that. You can unmute yourself. There you are. Hi, Petra.
Hi. Hi, everyone.
Hi. Good to see you.
I know. I really missed you guys, so I thought I just had to join in today.
Okay. Well, we're glad to see you back. I was wondering what happened to you.
Yeah, do you remember the first time that I came on this call and I said I was really scared to do videos?
Yes. Yes.
Well, today I have recorded my first video.
Okay.
I'm just waiting for it to upload onto the computer, and then I'm going to put it onto my sales page, so you'll see it on my Facebook.
Okay.
So my first video is going to be on a sales page. How crazy is that?
Okay.
That's awesome.
Cool.
That's great, making strides forward.
Yeah, definitely. And now, because I'm going to be having a one-day workshop. It's my first workshop that I've done. That's going to be in the next sort of 6 weeks. So between now and then, it's going to be putting out videos on a weekly, quite rapidly, really, and doing a lot of blogging for the next couple of weeks, so I can get my content out there and get more comfortable. Because just like was it Chris that said how many outtakes he did?
It was Larry.
Larry, yeah, I did so many takes. They were just terrible. But you know what? You just have to do it. You can't wait for perfection.
Even when I do videos now, I've probably done about 50 or 60. And even when I do videos now, at some point in them, I might be stumbling or stammering. And when I do that now, I point it out. You know, I've tried to get away from using and 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 I realized now one of my words is and so I have to stop saying but I'm getting there.
Yeah.
I tend to use the word actually a lot.
What I've realized is that I say now a lot. But, I rarely do a second take. It's very, very rare that my videos are a second take now. They're almost always one take. Mm-hmm. Occasionally I'll do one over because something is really bad. On the other hand, I also will admit to using Camtasia every now and I do edit out the snorts and the grunts and I do a little bit of cutting and editing, but most videos are one take. Just amazing. And I used to have a screen thing. What do they call it? I can't even think of the name of it. Where you read the text. I actually have a piece of software on the computer that you can put the camera and you can read the text, and I don't do any of that anymore.
Oh, like a teleprompter thing?
Yeah. I don't do any of that anymore. It was too stilted, too awkward, too. You can tell when someone's reading from a teleprompter.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel natural.
Now you can see their eyes are reading.
Yeah. So it's just amazing. The transition is amazing.
So what about people that try to hold us back? It says, to these bastards we owe nothing.
Yeah, get rid of them.
It's interesting. My son came back here the other night and he said, "You're taking all these classes and you'll be perfectly happy just being on the computer all the time. And why are you trying to achieve all this stuff?" And I just looked at him and, how do you answer that to your own kid? Because I want to.
Well, tell him the alternative is that he has to feed you for the rest of your life. That'll shut him up. Well, here's the options. Either I support myself or you support me. Which one do you want?
There you go.
But I didn't think I had to just, what do you call them? Hater in my own house.
Show him where the front door is. I know, he's your son. You don't want to kick him out, right?
Besides, my granddaughter's here.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Well, sometimes when you have a family member who's negative, if you invite him on the journey, he might get interested. Have you tried inviting him to take the journey with you?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't work out. I'm in a fairly enviable position in that I don't have anybody in my life that's negative at all. The people that I know that are my friends are supportive. I don't have anybody telling me, why are you asking questions like, why are you doing that? That's really dumb. I don't have anybody telling me it's illegal, it's a pyramid, it's a scam, or anything. It's just like, some of them, they don't want to be involved. They don't want to do it themselves. But they're not being negative toward me. In fact, my daughter has been begging me to help her and her boyfriend get involved so that they can make some money. And I've been tempted to get them involved, but I'm also a little reticent until I'm really 100% positive I can really teach them how to make money.
And again, if they want, I can send them links.
I'm sure you can, Larry. Yeah. So Petra, that sounds pretty awesome. Are you going to send us a copy of this sales page, or where are you going to put it so we can see it?
Well, it'll be on my personal page. I don't know where else you can see it, though.
Well, we have a group called the Motivation Manifesto. Is that the name of the group? And you can post it in there.
Okay.
We don't have any rules about posting in the group, so I mean, post it in our group so we can see it.
If Petra's in the group.
Huh?
I was actually published as well a few weeks ago on an online magazine.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I was published in Young, Fabulous and Self-Employed magazine.
Cool.
They published my articles, which I'm really proud about as well. So yeah, it's doing really well.
Throw a link up in Motivation Manifesto group.
Yeah, I'll put it
What's
in.
the name of the group? Does anybody know? I think it's our personal motivation.
Personal motivation.
Motivation.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Throw a link up so we can see it. Absolutely. Alrighty. So, anybody else have anything to add? Victims and quitters have a different view. They often think that reality is fixed, determined by others outside of themselves.
We have echoes.
Say again?
We were echoing.
I'm echoing.
Yeah, you were.
Oh, let me do it again. Sorry.
I'm echoing because Chris is on. So am I good now?
You're better, yeah. Could you repeat what you just said?
Oh, I was just reading the, I don't know what I said. I'm sorry. Victims and quitters have a different view. They often think their reality is fixed, determined by others outside of themselves. So the old, I can't do it because. There's always an excuse, always a reason. It's one of the big things. Justice is really brutal on that stuff. It's one of the big things that he kept pointing out in the challenge. If you argue for your limitations, you get to keep them. Yeah, but you don't understand.
Yeah.
I'm different than you. And the reality is, we're all the same. We can either make excuses or we can make progress.
Well, I think that what for me, that's in alignment with this chapter is imperfect action. I always want to always have all my ducks in the row, so to speak, and that becomes an excuse or a way of delaying. And so, if we're going to advance with abandon, I need to step in this role of imperfect action. Just like Petra did, like Larry does when all this outtakes, and I need to do the same thing. I need to be in action, be able to learn from my experience, so that from that I can move forward.
Yes, and we all have to understand that when we're in action, there are going to be critics out there, and so there are critics.
Are you getting your message?
Yeah, but I have an excuse. I'm a Virgo, and Virgo's like perfection, so everything has to be perfect.
Interesting belief, Chris.
You just keep on arguing for that limitation, Chris. I'm an Aries. I wonder what my excuse is. All right. Anybody else have anything to add?
Well, this is an important chapter.
Good.
I think it is.
Maybe we should stay on this chapter, and during the week we should think about how it applies to our lives and how we're going to overcome it and report back next week.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Something that I've been doing personally lately, I don't know if it relates to this chapter because I'm quite behind on the book, but I've been thinking for myself personally a question that I asked myself, and that question is, what would a person in leadership do? So anytime that I'm procrastinating or if I'm overthinking something, or if there's something that I really do want to do, what would a leader do? So for me, I'm not a morning person, so I don't get up out of bed early and start to work early. I tend to work in the night. But I've been really conscious of that. I've been feeling really tired lately. Mm-hmm. So on Monday, I made the decision to start working out in the mornings, via a DVD. And it's been going really well. I'm so much more clear-headed, so much more focused. And I've got more energy, for my clients. And that was just something that I was putting off for such a long, long time. And it's just about just taking action and just honestly just doing it.
Yeah, I have a similar experience. I mean, I do Tai Chi every morning, and I go to the gym. I like to say I go to the gym 3 times a week, but I don't always make it. But I do notice that if I haven't gone to the gym for a couple of days, my energy level starts to go down very rapidly. I don't feel good.
Yeah.
And I've got this thing that I have to fight these little monkeys up there in my head because they chatter at me saying, "Oh, you don't really have time to go to the gym. You have all this work to do. You got to sit and do all this work." And I got to take those monkeys and I got to beat them down sometimes, because the reality is, if I take the time to go to the gym, I'm much more productive.
Yeah.
The work gets done anyhow.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's absolutely critical. I think we've all find that. Bob, I don't know if you saw Bob's post yesterday, but he was talking about having his alarm go off at 3 o'clock in the morning. And I was getting up at 4 o'clock, and now with the time shifting forward, it's the old 3 o'clock is now 4 o'clock, and so I was. It's not working real well, by the way. I haven't been getting up at 3. But absolutely. And I tell you what, the earlier I get up, for me personally, the earlier I get up, the more I'm loving my life, because I'm using those early morning hours to do personal development stuff, and it just really feels awesome. Awesome. Mm-hmm. But I'm not turning on my computer. I'm not going to Facebook. I'm not going to email. I'm reading, meditating.
Yeah, well, that's one of the first things I do is I meditate each morning. So
I do have to be very careful with the meditating, because sometimes I just fall right back asleep. And I did that a couple of days ago. I started to meditate, and it's like, yeah, I know, Larry. Yeah, I started to meditate. The next thing I knew, I started meditating at 5 o'clock. The next thing I knew, I opened my eyes and it was 7 o'clock. I'm going, oh shit, because for me to do the early morning coffee with Len videos, I have a very narrow window to do them in. When the sun is up high enough that I have enough light, but it's not up too high, because the sun is actually coming up right in front of me. And so if it gets up too high, it's just a big glare in my face. And so I have to really watch that early morning timing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you should do a sunset with Lynn.
Well, I actually did. I did one a couple of weeks ago. I put up a video called "Wine with Len." You know, I can't do one tonight because I'm on my Profit with Len webinar, and then we also have the Terry Grimal webinar tonight. But I'll do one over the weekend. We'll have another Wine with Len. Look for a Wine with Len video.
Okay, I'll make me a Bloody Mary.
Okay, cool. Cheers. Yeah, there are a lot of days when I look at the sunset and think I should run out and do a video. But, you know, one of the challenges there is that with all the evening videos at 6 o'clock, all the evening webinars at 6 o'clock, a lot of times I'm not a webinar while the sun is setting. I'm looking out the window watching the sunset. Because, you know, so maybe Saturday night I won't have there's no webinar Saturday night.
Well, you could just turn it up loud enough you could hear it out on the beach and just go do your video anyway.
Yeah, but the video's not going to sound real good. So, at any rate. All right, I like that idea, Chris. So we'll think about this and we'll talk about it some more next week.
Okay.
Does anybody else have anything they want to add, or should we call it a day and move on with the rest of our lives?
I'm good, guys. Thanks. It was good.
I'm good as well.
All right, Petra?
Yeah, I'm great. Thank you.
All right,
I shall see you next week.
Please post your stuff in our group. I really would like to see your stuff.
Yeah, I will. I'll post my article now.
Okay, great.
Great.
And Chris, are you good?
I'm good.
All right, I'm pulling the plug. Here we go.
All right.
All right, everybody, have a great one.
Bye.